Alright, so the car's off the lift. Area's clean. I'm purposely delaying this, building anticipation, but this looks so good. Alright, I'm gonna roll over the service cart to the Beat. Honestly, buying this thing was one of the best purchases I've made for the shop because it came with a bunch of tools. I got it from the Snap-on guy. It's a Blue Point brand, but still Snap-on. I actually don't know the difference. I don't know if Blue Point is cheaper. I think it is, just like slightly cheaper than Snap-on. But yeah, it has like a little workbench area. I have my Thai tea right here and the remote for the AC. One of my friends came by, we changed out his headlight. I have a Bondo thing. I don't know, I just have like random shit on there. But yeah, I just roll this thing to wherever I'm at work. And then I have all my tools I should need. And if I need anything else, I have that toolbox over there. All right, so let's rotate this thing around. I have to break the lug nuts before I lift it up in the air. And then once I lift it up, honestly, I don't even need a lift to do this, but taking the wheels off with the lift is just easier in my opinion. So we're gonna lift it up and then break all the lug nuts loose and get the wheels off. I think I'm just gonna do like a time lapse, so I'm gonna set the camera down and then you guys can see me struggle to work on a car. I'm kidding. All right, so all four wheels are off. A lot of these lug nuts, I put one over here. I know for a fact 2 of them. This is one of the stripped ones, and on the other side there's another stripped one. Yeah, I don't know what happened. In the rear I did also have 2 strips, so basically every wheel is gonna be missing a lug. I do have to buy some new ones, and I just realized I never put this brake line back on, so I need to do that as well. I think it's from when I put the lowering springs in. I didn't put this back on because I took out the sleeve and it didn't fit exactly where it was originally, so I kind of just left it there. Just a brake line. It's not like you need to stop or anything, right? This thing definitely needs extended studs. Damn, this looks really good. It's missing a tire, but this looks really good. I noticed something, and honestly, I don't remember this, but this whole strut is cut right there. And I don't remember it having that. Huh. Either the wheel was hitting it, because the wheel is pretty close to it, or somebody cut it. I know for a fact I didn't do that because I would remember fucking angle grinding this. And honestly, that's a really straight cut. I don't think I could cut something that good. So somebody had to have done it. I don't know who did. But is it? Oh yeah, it's on this side as well. Oh yeah, definitely that was cut with an angle grinder. I know I didn't do it, but that's a good cut. I don't mind. That's just interesting. These spacers are pretty big. So these spacers are pretty big, and due to their size, you don't grab much of the lug anymore. So I'm gonna get spacers that are bigger with a thread on them as well. Someone's texting my phone. But yeah, these, I could either just say fuck it and get rid of the spacer and cut the bead on these wheels and go about like another 2 inches bigger on the lip, Because honestly, these are very small lips. These are like an inch lip at most. Doesn't even look like it has a lip. It looks like half an inch at that point. But yeah, it's about an inch big lip. I could go a little bit bigger. I could add another 2 inches maybe. I would have to see what it looks like when it's sitting, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the tire's gonna hit up here. That's what I'm concerned about. I mean, I could just lower it and throw blocks on it. My main issue was I thought it was rubbing up here, but it's actually rubbing on the inside over here. Huh. What else is it hitting? It's hitting a little bit of the fender liner. It might be hitting up there too. Oh yeah, it's definitely fucking hitting this shit. Damn, I need smaller tires. Smaller tires for sure. What are these? A 60, 185, 60, 14. I know for the rear it's fine. For the front, I do have to get something different. All right, so I couldn't resist. I had to lower it just to see what it looks like. So I put some blocks down, lowered the lift all the way in. Looks pretty good. There's a lot of gap right there, so I'm kind of thinking I should have went with 15s. But with how much it rubs, I think 14s will be fine. I do just have to get a smaller tire for sure. But let's lift this thing back up so we can get the wheels off and take the wheels off. So something that I've noticed that's somewhat cool on the new wheels for the Beat is the fact that they welded the barrels and the lips. Most people wouldn't like that because it's no longer a true 3-piece wheel. It essentially has become a 2-piece wheel. But I like that because that's one less likely place for the wheels to leak. And I mean, for the most part, usually when they're sealed and siliconed right here, they won't leak, but I didn't feel like ripping apart this silicone and resealing it, and now that I see that it's welded, I don't think I'm gonna have to reseal it. I think it should be fine. But on my S2K, they actually tend to leak a lot. It's super annoying. On the passenger rear is the one that leaks a lot, and I have to always just keep putting air. I know I have to disassemble it and check it, but I haven't had the chance to do that. So hopefully these don't leak, because the old wheels on the Beat were a single piece wheel and they never leaked any air whatsoever. All right, so we have all 4 of the VSXX mounted on the tires. For these tires, I went with a 155/55/14. It's a Achilles ATR-K. Cheap tire, but I think it's actually better than what used to be on it, which is these. I've never even heard of this brand, Landsill, but these were a 185/60/14. So these were a little bit bigger sidewall and a wider tire. So I actually want to go compare one of these to the new tires, see how much shorter the new tires are, but let me put the camera down. All right, so I placed the tire on the lift just so you can get a pretty good comparison of how much shorter the new wheel and tire setup is compared to the old one. So these are both 14-inch wheels, but with a smaller sidewall and smaller diameter tire, you lose about an inch. So with this, the car should be a lot lower. I know in the rear it's not gonna fill in the wheel well as good as it used to, but honestly, if the car gets a little bit lower, it'll look way nicer. And in the front, I had a lot of rubbing with such a big tire. Also, I got spacers, so that should help push the wheel out because it was rubbing on the inside. Damn, sorry, I'm all out of breath right now, but yeah, hopefully this new setup looks good. I do need some help in the front. Someone needs to step on the brake so I can tighten those spacers in the front, get them torqued down to spec. So I'm gonna call someone to help me over real quick and then get that on. But for now, I'm gonna do the rear since I have the car in gear and with the brake on. Oh, and I have a new shifter that I need to throw on too. But yeah, I'm gonna get the car in gear, put the spacer on. One of the studs is actually stripped, so I'm gonna see if I can repair it. I know I have a thread repair kit somewhere in the shop. So I'm gonna try to repair that and then throw that one on, throw the other side on, get the wheels on, get someone to help me in the front, lower the car, and then put the new shifter on. So not too much work today. Very simple and easy work, but I'm gonna turn on the AC because I am boiling in the shop right now and I'm like super out of breath. I know I've said this in the past video, but anytime I get to use my Snap-on digital torque wrench, I get very excited. I think I use this for the Superlast, which is 101 foot-pounds. I actually need to Google the torque specs for the Beat, but let me Google that and then I'll put this bad boy into work. It's all greasy from like just years of work. I should probably clean it. I clean almost all my tools after use, but I've actually never cleaned this one, surprisingly. Alright, so we got it on here. I probably should have put anti-seize on the threads, which I didn't, but we're about 37 foot-pounds right now. And 82, it's a little bit higher, but honestly I'd rather be over than below. So now let's get this other lug. So upon putting these on, I was starting to torque down the lugs and I saw the arrows point that way. So I was like, oh shit, these are actually directional wheels, which I thought they were not. But I look further down and these arrows point up and these point that way. So these wheels aren't directional, or tires aren't directional, I was pretty sure. Because even if you look at the threads, they don't have a direction. But yeah, for a minute, I really thought they were directional. That's kind of dumb for a tire company to put arrows right there, but at least they have some right here that point the opposite direction. So these are not directional tires, so I can continue to tighten these lugs down. All right, well, I'm still waiting on someone to come help me out with these front spacers, but you could really notice right here how much it was rubbing up front, which is not good. You don't want rubbing. And the previous owner chopped part of the strut right here too, since it was rubbing. And within the top, you could see like areas. I'm gonna get down here. All the top up here on the pinch welds, it was rubbing. Right there, it was rubbing. This is the most notable one. It's bare metal right there. I am gonna touch this up with some paint, actually. I don't have undercoating here, I have it at home, but I'm gonna touch that up with some paint just so it doesn't rust right there, because that's the last thing I want is this car start getting rusty. I mean, I'm in California where rust isn't that big of a deal, and plus all my cars are enclosed, so they shouldn't rust, but just to be safe, I'm gonna touch it up. I have some spray paint right here, so just give it a nice little touch and then it'll be good to go. All right, so the paint is still wet, but yeah, horrible paint job. I didn't really mask anything off. I just kind of touched it real quick, touched up right there. I hit the pinch welds up here. So yeah, just to make sure that there's no exposed metal within the car. And honestly, I didn't even clean it, I just sprayed it. Normally, if this was gonna be exposed, I would clean it, sand it, do everything proper, but no one's gonna see that. I just don't want it. Oh, I almost freaking died. My toolbox lid just shut on me, but yeah, I just don't want anybody to see that. Let me open this back up. All right, so fronts are on, rears are on. It looks insane. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how these wheels look. I have my jack up here because when I do lower the car, sometimes on occasion, those will get stuck. So we're gonna lower the car, have blocks of wood in the back, but let's see if it gets stuck or not. Well, the car itself doesn't get stuck, but you know, the lift arms get stuck. That one's actually hanging on by a thread right there. All right, let's see. The rear looks good, front looks good. Yeah, the rear is stuck, so I'm gonna have to put a block of wood. I think with one block it should be fine. Alright, we got one in the front, one in the rear. Or sorry, one on the left, one on the right. All excited to lower this finally. Oof. Clears. That looks insane. All right, I'm gonna clean this up so you guys can get a better look and move the arms out of the way. But this looks freaking crazy. All right, so the car's off the lift. Area's clean. I'm purposely delaying this, building anticipation, but this looks so good. Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna look this good. And like, fitment is spot on, front and rear. Rear is like perfect. If this car was actually low, this would look so good. But oh man, I might have to get coils for this car because it's kind of tall. But damn, this thing looks freaking good. I didn't think it was gonna look this good. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I was worried that it was gonna look like shit, but this looks sick. I just can't get over how different it looks, because I mean, these old wheels are cool for most Hondas, but in particular the Beat, the tires were too big, and I thought about getting smaller tires, but I'm not a big fan of these wheels and tires, so I'm just gonna keep these laying around because some cars, they also have 4x100. Another car I picked up recently has that, so I might need these as spares because the wheels that are on that car are pretty nice and I don't want them to get beat up, so I'm gonna keep these as spares. But yeah, this thing, it looks good. It looks a lot lower too, because that was one thing that always bothered me, was how tall this car looked. It was just kind of annoying. I do want to get side skirts, front lip, rear diffuser. As far as the rear diffuser goes, I can actually make one myself. It's not that hard to make one, but yeah. Pretty happy with how this came out. Oh, I forgot to move that lift arm, but man, this fitment is just amazing. And this was just like guesstimating. I didn't do any measurements actually. I actually just guessed on everything. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge on fitment, and I've had a few cars where I've dialed in fitment on guessing like that. And with this one, fitment is not dialed in whatsoever, but with the new wheels, fitment will be dialed in. Usually I will, for a car, when I go with wheels, I'll usually go bigger than what I think it is and say I'll make it fit. But for the McLaren, I went smaller because I wasn't trying to camber the fuck out of that car. But yeah, this looks good. I do have one last thing left to throw on right now, which is the shift knob, the Mishimoto shift knob. I freaking love this thing, perfect weight. And it comes with these 3 screws for the threads. I forgot what these things are actually called. I know they're not called screws or nuts, bolts, but it helps you get the thread right. They are plastic, so if you tighten them too much, they will strip. So to avoid over tightening it, you're gonna wanna use thread locker, just a very little amount, and just don't over tighten it. The thread locker will hold it in place. Because if you don't use thread locker, these will back out, and it's super annoying. I had that issue with my S2K and my Evo, and then I just threw some thread locker on there and it was good. But I'm gonna get that old shifter out and then put some thread lock on these and then get the new one on. So let me go get that thread lock. Oh, also, if you guys haven't seen these floor mats, these things are sick. I picked these up not too long ago, but we have the thread lock right there, the new shifter right here. Let me hop in the car. Oh God, this thing is low. Whoa, I'm not used to being this low in this car. This car's already tiny as it is. But for taking off the old one, you just have to twist it off like any other shifter. Unless you have like a Volkswagen, those shifters are kind of weird to remove. But damn, this thing's actually pretty big. And based off how it feels threading out, I'm pretty certain that the inside is going to be plastic. Actually never removed it, so I don't know. See, yeah, plastic. It's actually very stripped in there, but yeah, it's plastic. There's a lot of rust on this, so I kind of want to remove it and paint it. I could probably just sand it down, but I don't have any sandpaper in the shop right now. I actually just ran out, so I need to order some more. But oh yeah, I removed the radio because I don't use it, but I still want to keep it here so it's not just blank. But I never put the bolts back in. There's just like two little screws that hold it in place. So let's get some thread lock on here, get the new shifter on, see what it looks like. Oh, and the car comes with a flare. I actually thought that was like an extinguisher when I first bought it, but that's actually a flare. I hope that thing never goes off on me randomly, because I've heard some of these old Japanese cars, when they have flares in them, they'll just go off on their own. It's cool. It has like Japanese writing on it. I think I showed it in a previous video, so I'm not gonna pull it out. But let's get this new shift knob. Oh, this is a pretty sick angle, so I'm just gonna put the camera down here. See if this thread lock makes a mess. This is like the gel one, so it shouldn't make a mess. You don't need a lot, you just need like a little amount, but seems like it's not coming out. Okay, there we go. Just a little dot on there. Oh shoot, I probably should have seen which one of these fits. I think it was the middle one. Mid one. I'm saying freaking dumbass jokes, but yeah, it's the middle one. Alright, let's go. All right, there is good. You can put it over tight if you want to, but I suggest not, because then it is gonna back out eventually. Or, I mean, I don't know what it's called when you over tighten something, but then it's just gonna be a one lefty loosey, or one righty tighty turns lefty loosey. That's essentially what happens. Just put a little on here too. I actually don't know if this is the correct way to do it, but this is how I've always done it, and it tends to work, so I will continue to do what works. Now I'm just gonna line up the M on the top for Mishimoto, and then I'll stop tightening right there. All right, M is all lined up. This is here. There's some thread lock right here, so I should get I'm gonna get a shop rag and clean this up. But new shifter looks cool. All the gears are nice and smooth with a little bit of weight. Oh wait, reverses right there. Yeah. So in the beat, it's, you know, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then reverse is actually really tricky to find, but it's all the way to the right and back. For those of you that don't know about right-hand drive cars, all your pedals are the same. Your left is always your clutch, middle is brake, and then right is gas. Shifter is also always the same, but because I'm a lefty, it feels more natural having it on my left-hand side. But yeah, seems like we're all done for today. Okay, I lied. I said that concludes this part of the video, but I forgot that I do have a misunderstood banner here at the shop. So we're gonna clean down the windshield with some isopropyl alcohol and then get it all nice and clean so we can apply this decal. I should have a plier, like a little squeegee somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I'll find it right now and clean the windshield and get that applied. All right, so we got the windshield all wiped down. This is the only squeegee I have in the shop, but hey, it works. I have that wiper up. So whenever I've seen them put the misunderstood banners on, they try to follow the wiper line, which it's a little bit low right now because I was cleaning it, but I'm gonna lower that down. I actually just noticed there's still some residue right here from an old sticker, so I'm gonna remove that. But yeah, you wanna follow the wiper line, so I'm gonna lift it up a little bit so you can see it more clear, but you wanna follow that line when you're putting this on there. And the only reason I'm putting this on there after wiping it is because I'm gonna do another pass. This banner is just a little too big, so it's gonna go slightly above, like around there. But I'm gonna wipe it down again just because whatever this is, I don't want that interfering with the adhesion of the sticker. And I think this is a silver one. Oh yeah, it's the same color as the 240Z, so it's a silver one. So I might have done it a little too far up, but should look good. Just making sure that everything is properly adhered, and then I can remove the transfer paper. Hopefully there's no bubbles. Luckily, we've never gotten bubbles on any of them. Like when Junior put the S2K one on, that was just like out there in the dirt, and we just sprayed it down really quick, got it on, no bubbles. And it was just for a photo shoot, so I'm sure they didn't intend on it being perfect 100%, but it's been holding up strong for the past 3 years now. Maybe more than 3 years, I'm not too sure. But we're getting this off. Oh, there's like a nasty bubble right there. Damn, that's crazy because that's the center too. Usually the center is where you don't have bubbles, since you start at the center and go out. But yeah, there's a nasty little bubble there. That's crazy too, because that's the first part that I stuck on it and ended up having bubbles, which is very interesting to me. And this isn't like air release, like wrap, so those bubbles are gonna stay there. Usually I'll spray it down with a little bit of soap and water so I can move it around, but this bander is a little too big and we're gonna make a smaller version for the car. So this one's not gonna stay there, but since I might take it out tonight, I want it to look presentable in a sense, and I do have to wash the car. All right, let's get this thrown in the trash can. You know, little things like that excite me, like a trash can in here. But this drawer is the one that really gets me. Ignore those towels, I need to throw those out. They just have oil and I don't want to pick them out. But this drawer is cool. It's just a bunch of shelving for bolts. I don't know what people use this for, but I just use it for bolts. Like I have these, which are very standard size in automotive. These are fender bolts. I think they're like an M5 or an M6. And I just have a stack of them here. It is 7:15. I'm very late to the meet, but the beat starts. All the gauges work, which were not working earlier because the battery was completely dead. Radio works, AC works. I won't be needing AC because I don't even have a roof, but yeah, we're gonna go to the meet. I'm so excited that it's working fine now, because honestly I was so worried. I checked the oil level, oil seemed fine. It has a Japanese sticker here. I don't know what that says. Hopefully nothing bad. But all right, let's start heading to the meet because I'm really late. I really wanted to do a photo shoot, but I'm already late and I don't think I should. You know, I'm already late, I might as well. So when I was driving the car, it died. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So I have a AAA. Should be here around 8:31, and hopefully they can tow my car to the shop and I'll figure out what's wrong with it. But yeah, this sucks, honestly. Damn. Honestly, I just wanted to go to the car meet, have some fun with my friends, and now we are stuck on the side of the freeway, so this is nice. It happens. I mean, this is kind of part of the game with cars. And I pulled the motor out of the beat 2 times, so third time won't be that bad, but yeah, it's crazy. At least it looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's broke on the side of the road, it looks pretty cool. So while I'm waiting, I decided to turn on the underglow. Just to have some fun, get some pictures of it. Alright, so AAA said 2.5 hours for a tow, and I have been waiting for 30 minutes. So I just said, fuck it. I canceled that shit. And I have someone bringing my truck and trailer, and we're just gonna load it up to that. But damn, 2.5 hours for a fucking tow. And it's like 8:30 right now. Alright, so I'm still waiting. My truck should be here in about like maybe like 20 minutes more or less. So we're out here just chilling, posted up, you know, on the side of the freeway, as one does with a modified car. I don't know why my voice sounded like that right now, but yeah, I'm just posted up. I don't even know what the audio sounds like, but it is so ridiculously loud here. Like, I'm crouching down behind the barrier, but god damn, it's so loud. Yeah, I'm just waiting here next to the barrier. Honestly, I've just been having fun this whole time, just kind of waiting and like just fucking chilling. Alright, so my truck is finally here. Took him a little while because he was a little lost. I accidentally sent him the address to this service road. Based on current location, it gave him the service road, but he's finally here. So we're gonna get the car all loaded up. I'm gonna help him get everything loaded up, and then we're gonna go. Alright, so car's loaded up. Now we just gotta strap it down and then we're all good to go.